So I'm going to play this quick video for you, really short. Okay, so this is just some video from a Duke University basketball game. And as you can tell, there's a ton of people there. The crowd's going, like there's cheering and everything. They're just warming up. The game hasn't even started yet. And this is the kind of thing that we want at our games and to see at our events. And that's not what we have right now. It is known information that attendance at our games has been down. As an athletics department, we currently only track attendance at basketball games because it's the easiest to track. So I have numbers given to me from Dante Cardi. He's the marketing coordinator for athletics. In the past, the men's basketball games have had attendance up to and around 1,300 people per game. And this past season, it was all the way down to 900. Same for women's basketball, not as much as a difference, 750 to just about 600. But from this, you can see like there's a dramatic change, especially in men's basketball, which is one of our biggest revenues for the university. So what we want to do is we need to get the community involved. We're in Lawrenceville. We need to get them involved more in our athletics and in our university. So in order to get the locals to come to our sporting events, we need to give them a reason to come. The way to do this is we're going to hold the first annual Move Your Feet 5K, and the 5K will get people to the campus. It will show them our facilities and allow them to meet and run with some of our student athletes. So first we need to grow a bigger local following. It's not enough just to have rider students and staff at our games. From the graph I showed you earlier, men's basketball attendance is down 31% and women's basketball attendance is down 20%. And that's something we really need to address. And the way to address this is there are 4,000 people in Lawrenceville alone, just in the Lawrenceville area, and we're not reaching out to them. I feel it's kind of like our university is very individual from the community, and one way that schools really get people to come to their games and really get them involved in their athletics is that they're successful. And I don't think it's known enough that our teams are very successful. Our field hockey team has been the NEC champs for the past 3 years in a row. We had recently 4 members from the wrestling team go to the NCAA tournament, and our men's basketball team has won its first postseason game since 1954. These are some big things and big strides that our university is taking, and I feel that the community doesn't really know that. So what the problem is? The problem is we don't have enough community involvement, and this is how we're going to fix it. We're going to run the first annual Move Your Feet 5K for Brown University. Athletics already holds an annual walk run for women's athletics directly, and this past year they had $12,000 in revenue. They had 200 to 300 participants, and they had 50 volunteers. So these are numbers that we can take and use into our new 5K that we're starting. But with the new 5K, we're going beyond just women's sports, and we're expanding it to all sports. So this 5K will expand our target audience. It will bring it to children that are in the local community and their families, get them to want to come to our university. It'll be high schoolers, because they're looking into colleges now, and they're realizing like they want to be some of these athletes, and getting to meet them is a great opportunity. As well as local runners who are trying to find something else to do. They already do all the other runs, well, they're trying to find something new and keep it in the local community. So what's next? Our next step is to actually have the run. So why do people want to participate in our run? They're going to get to meet student athletes, it's a new local activity, and they'll get to see the campus and the facilities. So leading up to the race, we will have athletes and coaches lead runs for participants once a week. Once someone signs up for the race in the confirmation, we can send them a schedule for training. Here's a mock schedule that I found online from some institute. I forget the name currently. I'm not going to show that. So this is like a mock schedule of training, 7-week training schedule, and we can send it out. And
Mayo Clinic.
Mayo Clinic, thank you. And we can send it out and maybe highlight or circle or like bold different days of the week that our student athletes and our coaches can actually do the runs with the people and train with them to get them to know them better. For the day of the race, we'll start registration at 8 a.m. and it's very important that registration is seamless so that the athletes can get their bibs and keep moving. There will be free t-shirts at registration, and also participants will be informed of prizes that can be won at the end of the race. So what do you think they would want? they're at Ryder for this run. We're trying to encourage them to come back. What are some things that we could use to kind of get them going for these prizes?
Maybe a game voucher, good for 2 tickets to any basketball game.
I would say Ryder sports paraphernalia, so jerseys, hats, basketballs, things like that.
I know my kids always like to take pictures with the athletes, and autographs.
Awesome. These are definitely some ideas that I was thinking. A game voucher is great. Tickets to games. We're not only giving them tickets, but we're doing the hard part for them. A lot of people don't know when the games are. They kind of don't realize oh, I can actually make this game. There's games on the weekend. But by giving them game vouchers, we're taking a part of a step between them getting to our games away from them. Jerseys, awesome idea. Everyone always loves free stuff, free T-shirts, free jerseys, and pictures and autographs is a great way to once again get the kids to want to be at our games because they feel that they know the athletes. So the race will begin at 9:30. This is an example from the current 5K that we have. As you can notice, it goes to the back of campus, but all the way up here at the very top is where all our athletic facilities are. So right now, we don't go back there, but for our race and our purposes, we want to bring the race back through our turf field, our baseball, our softball field, as well as our track, so they get to see the facilities while they're running. In addition to expanding the race course, we would also have student athletes placed throughout the race to kind of encourage people as they're running. So at the conclusion of the race, I'm guessing the race will maybe end around 11 o'clock, we would have food and drinks for all the participants that are included in the registration cost. There will be tours of the facilities run by the student athletes, and as well as the coaches, once again, keep up the interaction, and the prize winners will be called around 12 o'clock to kind of conclude the whole event. So back to the recap at the beginning. In order to get the locals to come to our sporting events, we need to give them a reason to come. And the 5K and getting them to the campus and to know the student athletes is going to be a reason for them to want to come. We're going to hold the first annual Move Your Feet 5K, and this will not only encourage community involvement, but it will raise funds for the athletic department. The 5K will get people to the campus, show them our facilities, and allow them to meet and run with some of our student athletes. I think the key to this is that our student athletes are going to get to know the people in the community. And by the community members feeling that they know the athlete, it's going to make them want to see them. So it's more than just knowing the athlete. They're going to feel a connection with the athlete, but also the team, which then brings them to the university to want to cheer the team on. And I think that's what's going to be most beneficial to us.